Hello, and welcome to a brand new season of Football Everyday, which will be coming to you from the studios of Menara Star on a daily basis, alright, in conjunction, of course, with Brazil 2014. My name's Nelson. Joining me today, Zach Yusof and the evergreen Brian Martin. Guys, good to see you. I'll tell you what, the greatest show on earth kicks off tonight, guys. And aside from maybe Sweden, I mean, you've practically got all the national football powerhouses competing in this edition, Brian. So going into the tournament, who would your picks be?
Well, you can't look further than Brazil and Argentina, simply because it's in their patch of the
South America.
Yeah, South America.
Right.
But you know, there's a saying that a Northern Hemisphere team has never ever won in the Southern Hemisphere. That could be about to change. Now, if you look at the quality of teams from Europe, Germany, Spain, Holland,
like the jacket you're wearing,
like the jacket I'm wearing, Portugal. I don't know. Maybe the weight of expectations will hit Brazil. You know, the whole nation is on, on their shoulders, and Argentina is always flattered to deceive. You know, so I'm looking at an upset, maybe Holland or Spain.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Football Everyday team went out and about, right, to check out the atmosphere in the streets and find out from the fans who they think will win this year's tournament. So take a look.
Well, usually my heart goes out to, well, since Malaysia is not there, well, it's always England. You know, I like England, but I don't think they're good enough. Germany looks good. Spain, as usual, look good. I actually think if Brazil gets through the quarterfinals, I think they will go all the way.
I'm very excited and I'm hoping my team to win lah.
Okay, and which team is that?
It's come from Brazil.
Wow. So let me ask you this one question. Brazil in their own backyard, can anybody beat them when they're playing at home?
Yeah, I think their big competitor is Spain, I think.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
Because Spain have quality players in the midfield area.
Okay. My last question to you, so for Brazil, which player are you looking out for?
Neymar.
Okay, actually I suka England sebab dia player star and all in ramai player star.
Okay.
Then I think England can
do it now?
tahun ni boleh menang lah.
Who are you going to follow in this massive tournament?
Germany.
Why is that?
They're always a solid team, strong mental strength. So they're always there, somewhere in the quarterfinals or semi-finals.
Fantastic. You enjoy watching the Germans?
Yeah.
Tournament?
Yeah, I do. They're always very fluid, very focused. They may not play the best and most sexy football, but they're always there.
Italy, because I'm Italian. Well, Pirlo is obviously going to be really good. Pirlo's played his probably best season in 5 or 6 years. But De Rossi is the most important player because he's like the X Factor and he has a really scruffy beard, so he's very scary. And he has a tattoo on his calf of someone breaking an ankle, so he's very, very, very scary. So he's one to look out for.
Well, Argentina definitely have the best attack. I'm not too sure about the midfield and the defense, but definitely they're in for a shout to possibly win the World Cup. I don't think the location really matters. At the end of the day, I think the team looks good. Let's see what happens, man. It's a long time coming. The last time Argentina won the World Cup was in 1986. That was the 80s. That was a long time ago.
There you have it, Zach. The last fan said Argentina.
Correct, yeah.
Just like what Brian said, but you know, again, he said they flattered to deceive, and we know that. I mean, they're strong in attack, but they're kind of suspect in defense, and at the back. So who would your picks be, Zach? I mean, who stands out for you going to this?
Well,
tournament?
you know, it's in the spiritual home of football this time round, right? Brazil, and I really find that you can't really look beyond Brazil. You know, playing in their own backyard. And you know, it's funny you mentioned the European teams, because if you look at that Brazilian team, they're like all them play in Europe anyway.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So I think they're different from the Brazil teams that we've seen in the past. They're not so flamboyant, but you know, playing their own backyard, it's hard to look beyond them.
The Brazilian crowd behind them. Remember, Brian, we talked about the favourites, guys. What about the dark horses for you? I mean, you know, who Belgium, the likes of Belgium, you think Russia?
Could I say England? I'm not allowed to say England.
Well,
why not? Why not?
Yeah, it's weird. Like zero expectation for the English this time round, which can only work for England, can't it?
Yeah, but you know, every time the British press starts putting England on a pedestal, and in this case, Roy Hodgson actually said that England have a chance.
Yeah,
I think it's all going to end at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the first game against Italy is going to be their final, right? Speaking about England, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, how really would you rate England's chances as a fan?
If they get a result against Italy, and when I say a result, even a draw would be good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would set them up nicely to, I mean, at least qualify from the group stages.
Zach, you're kind of an England fan as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I'm an Everton fan, and there's loads of Everton representatives in the England team this time around. I agree with Brian that it's key for them, that first game. You know, the last time in Euros, it was a very one-sided 0-0.
Yep.
But 0-0 nevertheless. I think if England pull that same kind of result out of the bag, who knows, man?
I mean, Brian, you know, David Beckham, former England great, I mean, you know, has kind of came out and said to Roy Hodgson, you know, unleash the young ones. So, I mean, would you agree with Beckham's assessment?
I would. I absolutely would. I mean, Beckham should know. You know, Alex Ferguson unleashed the young ones back in '96. You know, and he was part of a great team, so he would know. I mean, you've got Ox, you've got Raheem Sterling,
Ross
people like that. Ross Barkley.
Yeah.
Let them have their way. You know, why rely on?
They
someone
can't
like
do any
Lampard,
worse
Gerrard?
than the old guard have
Absolutely,
done in
yeah.
previous tournaments, right?
I mean, very quickly, Zach, for the break, dark horses for you?
I actually
team.
like Ivory Coast, actually. I think a lot of people have forgotten about the African nations. These guys are used to the climate, right? They're a great team. I mean, any team with Yaya Toure and Drogba in it,
Yep. Drogba and
you got to
company.
take seriously.
All right, okay, tell you what, we'll hear more from the guys after a quick break here on Football Every Day, so we'll see you real soon. Welcome back to Football Everyday here on the second segment of the show. I tell you what, guys, the opening match of this year's tournament sees Brazil tackle Croatia in Brian. What could possibly be a tricky tie for the host, right? I mean, look, especially with the likes of Luka Modric and Bayern Munich's Mario Mandzukic leading the line. Also, not forgetting Sevilla's, you know, Rakitic, who's to be set for move to Barcelona, right, Brian?
And if you look at the way the two teams are going to be set up, Brazil are going to be playing 4-3-3 with Fred, Neymar, and Hulk up front. Very attacking formation. And I think Zaki was saying that chances are Croatia is going to go with 4-4-1.
Yeah.
So Mandzukic up
4-5-1,
front and
yeah.
Modric pulling strings from midfield. So I think they're set up for counter attack. Brazil have to be extremely careful. You know, they need to play fast, attacking, adventurous football in front of their home fans.
Yeah.
But they got to be careful about.
I think they need to play the game, Brian, rather than the occasion, you know?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's the
absolutely,
opening game, it's the pressure's going to be on.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, Brian, do you think nerves will play a part? I mean, it's the opening game.
I think
big
it's going to be
expectations.
extremely cagey.
Yeah.
Nerves are definitely going to play a part.
Yeah.
An early goal could settle Brazil's nerves. So I think maybe
Or
2-0.
perhaps if Croatia score first, then Brazil will come out, right?
Well, stranger things have happened, right?
I mean, Zach, I mean, you said earlier in the show, I mean, it's what's coming too as well. Compared to previous Brazil teams in the past, Zach, I mean, this particular squad seems kind of more workman-like, you know, it doesn't seem to have the kind of flair we've been used to over the years with the likes of
we grew
Kaká.
up with Zico, Socrates, a bit older than you, Nels.
Ronaldinho, Lucas, Moura, and
Exactly,
Coutinho, all missing the plane, you know. But Scolari has won this tournament before, right? So how would you rate their chances against Croatia?
You know, I think he knows that, you know, not so much the performance for this one, but the result. I think it's paramount that Brazil get off to a good start. So, you know, he's not going to care. It goes off Fred's bottom and trickles in. 1-0 will do Scolari just fine.
But I mean, that's my point, right, Brandon? But this Brazil team, it looks as if Scolari has set out the team to kind of win ugly, and, you know, it doesn't matter how they win, right? If you got the workhorses like Oscar, Paulinho, Willian, David Luiz. Which is not.
You know,
a lot of workhorses. You just named 3 possible starters in that team.
In fact,
already.
a very European type
exactly,
setup.
European like Brazil, right? Right, give me a score prediction, Brian.
2-0. 2-0.
To Brazil?
Brazil.
Right, we are going to be watching the match with me at Sold Out, right?
Yeah, fantastic. I'll be there, mate. I think it's going to be a close one, maybe a 1-0, 2-0. Yeah.
Right, I think that as well. Okay, I tell you what, before we tell you what's happening at Sold Out tonight, quick one, Brian, on the other 2 players in Group A, in Brazil's group, which are Mexico and Cameroon, Brian. Your take, I mean, Javier Hernandez isn't enjoying the best, you know, vein of form. And Cameroon, I mean, Samuel Eto'o, the Mourinho's called him old. And how do you rate the other two teams' chances compared to Croatia?
I mean, I have to go for Chicharito, dude.
But he's been dropped from the squad, right? I think he's not going to start, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, I think he's in the squad. He may not start.
Dropped from the starting level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Cameroon, Zach, Roger Milla.
We're talking about history now, but everyone's got a soft spot for Cameroon if you like the World Cup, right? Whether or not they can really dazzle everybody, that remains to be seen. But a lot of them play in Europe. These guys are top
you've
pros.
Got Alex Song, Eto'o, Aso Ikoto.
As old as Eto'o is, who knows how old he is? That guy's still got goals in him. So
So along with Brazil, who would your pick be to join
possibly
Brazil in
Cameroon, mate. I worry about Croatia. I think they're not quite the team that they've got great individual players. Can they gel together as a team? Who knows?
Right. Mexico, Croatia, Cameroon.
I'm going with Brazil and Mexico to get past the group stage. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I tell you what. Lots of football ahead of us in the coming month. So thanks a lot, guys. But before we bid you goodbye, do remember, of course, to join us at Sold Out in Sri Hartamas tonight. That's right. Tonight from 12 midnight onwards. All right. As we will be launching the Stars Samba Fever Special Edition. All right. That's your daily World Cup pull-out. All right. And of course, you can catch the match between Brazil and Croatia. On top of that as well, you also stand a chance to win some great prizes from Adidas, Sony and Sold Out, because every 100 ringgit you spend tonight in a single receipt entitles you to a shot at our mini penalty kick shootout, alright? Lastly, we're all football fans and we would love to hear from you, so if you're out there and like to win yourself a pair of Adidas Battle Pack footwear worth up to 800 ringgit, guys.
Excellent.
I'll tell you what. Thank you very much, Adidas. Do send us your most creative photo or video selfies, alright, of you and your friends enjoying the World Cup to football@thestar.com.my and you might just be a winner.
Right, and I just want to add, you can also Twitter us.
That's right.
Yeah, just send in your tweets to switchup.tv and we would love to hear from you guys.
Alright, do of course make sure to include your full name, IC number and contact number so we can get in touch, alright? And that wraps up today's edition of Football Everyday. Guys, Brian, Zach, pleasure as always. We'll see you next month, every day, all month.
Yeah.
Alright, till we see you soon. Do enjoy your football. Bye from us here at Menara Star.